My theory is that Simpson was under some strong obligation to nobble or otherwise incapacitate this horse so that he would be unable to run in the Wessex Cup.
Clever move, that, putting opium in the boy's food, and easy enough through that window.
Yes. Then it was simple. He'd obtained a duplicate key, led out the horse. It was his bad luck that Straker was alert enough to catch him up on the moor. In the struggle, the horse bolted.
There's no proof that Simpson killed Straker, actually.
Well, the evidence against him is very strong. He was undoubtedly here that night on some devious business. He poisoned the stable lad. He had in his hand a heavy stick weighted with lead, and his scarf was found in the dead man's hand. And he went pale as death when I confronted him with that fact. I really think we have enough to go before a jury.
No. Inspector! A clever counsel would tear it all to rags. Has a duplicate key been found in his possession?
No.
But what chemist sold him the powdered opium? And above all, how could he, a stranger in this district, hide a horse? And such a horse as Silver Blaze?
I agree, the evidence is circumstantial. But I think the net is drawn pretty tightly round Fitzroy Simpson. And I believe he is our man.
What sort of a fellow is he? And why would he do such a thing?
Fitzroy Simpson is a man of excellent birth and dedication. Unfortunately, he has squandered a fortune on the turf, which has put him in the hands of moneylenders and unscrupulous bookmakers.
Plenty of those sharks in the racing world.
I didn't know that you were a betting man, Watson.
What? Oh, just the occasional flutter.
I presume an inventory has been made of what Straker had in his pockets at the time of his death?
I have the things themselves in the sitting room, if you would care to see them.
Vice and Co-London. For the bloodstains, I presume this is the knife that was found in the dead man's grasp.
Yes, indeed.
This is more in your line, Doctor.
This is what we call a cataract knife. Very delicate blade, devised for very delicate work. Strange thing for a man to take on so rough an expedition, Holmes. Especially as it wouldn't shut in his pocket.
The tip was guarded by a disc of cork, which we found beside the body.
You impress me, Inspector.
Thank you. Mrs. Straker said it was on the dressing table. It was probably the nearest thing to hand at the time.
I see. Let's see. Corn merchant's bill. Instructions from Colonel Ross. What have we here? A milliner's account. £37, 15 shillings from a Madame de Zurier of Bond Street, London. To a Mr. William Derbyshire.
Now, Mrs. Straker tells us that Derbyshire was a friend of her husband's and occasionally had his letters addressed here.
22 guineas. Somewhat heavy for a single costume. Mrs. Derbyshire had rather expensive taste.
Yes. Well, there appears to be nothing more to learn here, Inspector. Shall we move on to the scene of the crime?
Yes, of course.
After you, please.
Have you got them, Inspector? Is there any more news?
I'm afraid not, Mrs. Straker. But Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson have come down from London to help us. I assure you we are doing everything possible.
I wish you good luck, Mr. Holmes.
Well, thank you, madam. And our commiserations on your great loss. Look, surely we met at a garden party in Plymouth some time ago.
No, sir. You are mistaken.
No, do you know, I could have sworn it. You wore a costume of dove-colored silk with ostrich feather trimming.
I never had such a dress, sir.
That quite settles it. Thank you.
That is the bush where the coat was hanging.
What was the weather like?
Oh, calm. Bit of rain about.
And the coat was not blown against the bush, but placed there. Oh,
Yes, it was placed there.
Inspector. No. So many people have trampled around this land. There have been many people here.
That piece of matting has been placed there, and we have all stood upon that.
Not the general public.
I have in this bag one of the boots John Straker wore, one of Fitzroy Simpson's shoes,
And the cast horseshoe of Silver Blaze.
Thank you, Inspector.
Burnt wax vesta. Camperlin.
Cannot understand how I came to overlook them.
They were invisible, buried in the mud. I only saw them because I was looking for them.
What? You expected to find them?
I thought it not unlikely.
I'm afraid there are no more tracks. I've examined the ground for 100 yards in every direction.
What a pleasant evening. I think I'll take a walk, stretch my legs. Watson?
Yes, indeed.
I'll take this, for lark.
I have some work to do in the house. Then Colonel Ross is coming to take us back to Tavistock.
Good evening, Constable.